Hello and welcome. My name is Bill McCall and we are here today to talk about insurance. I'm going to be giving you and my audience here with me today some information on the different types of insurance products in the market today. I want to start off by talking about term life insurance. Term life insurance is about like renting an apartment. As you'll see behind me here, I've got a picture of an apartment complex. Term life is about like this apartment complex in this picture, and there you're just renting it. And you'll never own it. It doesn't build cash value. You can never borrow against it, and you'll eventually have to move to something more permanent. Term life basically just covers a temporary need until you find something you can afford and move on to something more permanent, like a house. Term insurance is usually for young people just starting out who may not be able to afford a more permanent type of policy, but it does provide the necessary coverage in times of need if that should arise. This type of insurance is popular in covering temporary needs such as that have a period of time that you pay on, such as a mortgage, car, boat, or any other type of sensitive need. Products that are usually offered are term life 10, 15, 20, and even 30 to provide coverage. Now that you and my audience have a better understanding of what term life insurance is and what it's used for, I'm going to move on to whole life and discuss some of the main points to inform you on some of its uses. As you'll see behind me again, I have a picture of a house here. Whole life is like this house. It builds cash value, which is equity in the house. And a whole life insurance policy builds cash value that you can borrow against at any time. It's yours to keep as long as you keep the payments up, and it'll never lapse or come to term like a term life 10, 15, or 20, or 30. Whole life is like buying a house, as said earlier. When you buy it, it becomes yours. I will say that either option is good for virtually any situation, and one is not better than the other. It just depends on the situation at the time one applies for the coverage needed to pay expenses in the time of need. Since I have discussed the two types of life insurance products in the market today, and you are more familiar, you and my audience have a better understanding of what each one means, let's move on to another informational product offered as a supplemental insurance policy. We've all heard about Medicare and heard from various people what Medicare is not paying for these days, which is virtually everything. Well, a few years ago, the government started allowing us to offer supplemental policies to cover what Medicare doesn't pay for under Plans A, Part B, Medicare. I'm going to share with you some of the facts of what Medicare supplements do and hopefully be informative as well. As you see behind me, I have a chart showing Medicare supplements A through G, and each one covers a little more and is a little more expensive, and the most popular plans are C and F because they're going to cover the foreign insurance if you get hurt outside the United States and need medical care, as well as your visiting nurse products. And these vary from plan to plan and are based on your age when the application is submitted. These supplement policies even cover the emergency care, as mentioned earlier, received outside the United States because Medicare doesn't pay for these under any circumstances. There's also home recovery visits from a visiting nurse and available with these products as well as before with term life versus whole life. One policy isn't better than the other. It just depends on your situation at the time of need and when the coverage is applied for. The chart that I refer to is a basic chart that doesn't have everything on it that's covered by the Medicare supplements. It's just an outline of coverage that is provided with some of our plans. Now that I gave you some information on some of the different types of life insurance offered and an explanation of each, in addition to discussing Medicare and the supplements offered, I'm going to close by saying thank you to you, the viewer, and my audience. and ask for any questions at this time. Any questions? Audience? Okay. Thank you and have a great day.